breaking news this week. Damian Lillard gets traded to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Man,
What was y'all's thoughts when y'all heard that earlier today?
as soon as I got the message, I guess the post come through, I had to I had to sit back and think about it because initially I didn't think Drew was a part of it. So I'm like, yo, are they about to have
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, are they about to have Dame and Drew? That's a bit locked up at the guard position. But of course, he was a part of the trade. And I think it's great for Milwaukee. I mean, a trade, something had to be done. The big thing is, he didn't go to the Heat, which everybody thought he would. But the Blazers had to make a move. I guess they wanted to spike the Heat. I don't know. It's like because that package.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you look at just the package of it, and of course they had to get a third team involved, which is the Suns, which we'll talk about soon. But yeah, I think it's something the Blazers had to do, and I commend Milwaukee. Off rip, I was like, Milwaukee did that for Giannis. So,
what about you, Chris? I know you got the news kind of late. So, what was you thinking?
I thought it was cap. I'm scrolling through. I'm trying to catch up on the messages and see what's going on, but I didn't have in mind Milwaukee. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't have them in mind. If it were to be another team outside of Miami, it was never in mind to be Milwaukee. It's an interesting trade partner for them to find, but I mean, they had to do what they had to do. They wanted certain assets that they felt like Miami probably couldn't give them, and the whole saying of once the player put it out there who they want, they kind of leverage them in a sense, right? They put the pressure on them, like, well, I don't want to go nowhere else, so no team gonna want to get me. But hey, Milwaukee said whatever.
But I feel when we see some of the reports, you start to see how some of that is bullshit. But Dame's cousin had came out and said that the Miami had a better offer and Toronto had a better offer. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I can see. Yeah, I can see. I get the trade because honestly, you can trade Drew Holiday to somewhere else and get even more assets. And I kind of understand, like, they got a young squad, especially now bringing over Ayton, getting rid of Nurkic, but with Shaedon Sharp and Simons and with the draft pick, what's my boy's name from Kel? Scoot Henderson. Yeah. They have some young guys, so I can kind of see if they don't want to bring in maybe a group of young guys or even people that'll want to play over them, so they can kind of see what they got with them. But now that kind of opens the floodgates because now where's Drew gonna go? Because that could also change some stuff, especially if he go to Miami or one of the places I was thinking is maybe the Spurs, so he can go play with Wemby, or maybe even the Bulls try to make a trade for him because with Lonzo out, what do y'all think in terms of where he could land?
For Drew, I think I would personally, I want to see him with the Clippers. I was thinking, you did, and we talked about it earlier, of course, in our messages, how you mentioned like the Celtics, the Bulls.
Celtics.
I don't really see the Spurs. I don't really see that for Drew, because if Drew he's already in that mindset where at the end of this current contract, he only have two years left, including this season that's about to start, and he's about to call it a wrap. Where he's at with it, I don't know if the Spurs are on that same timeline, so I don't really see it for the Spurs. I think the Celtics would be great. I think they could use that, especially after losing Marcus Smart. That's somebody that's perfect for them. But again, he makes $36 million on his contract, so I don't even know how the Celtics can pull that off. And that kind of leads me into, like, of course, Miami, because they were close, I guess you could say, with Dame, and then the Clippers. I want to see the Clippers. Drew's an LA guy, went to UCLA, born in LA. He's close friends with PG. Him and Russ are close. Like, it just makes sense, and especially if this is your last contract, if you ain't, if you're trying to hang it up, go play in your hometown and call it a wrap. I mean, it makes sense to me, and then the Clippers they have the assets to make that trade. They have expiring deals, and Marcus Morris and Robert Covington to kind of make the money work. So that's what I would like to see. I think it makes sense.
Is there any reason to believe that he's not going to play out his contract?
No, I think he'll play it out.
I mean, I'm talking about where he got traded to.
Oh, nah, I don't think so. But I don't know
You
how Drew
saying
is. He don't really
in Portland?
Yes,
like he would stay
I'm
in
saying
Portland.
there a reason to believe that he won't stay there.
Well, the trade is pending right now because they are looking to trade him.
Yeah, so
okay.
they are.
I didn't see that
They
part.
don't.
So
They
the
don't
trade
want
is not finalized yet because they're looking to trade him off.
I don't really, if you're the Blazers, there's no point in having Drew Holiday there. Really, if you're really trying to move on with your young players, with Scoot, with Anthony, with Shaden, Drew just gets a little murky. So I think they're definitely trying to move him. But Philly is another option.
Yeah, Philly's another option. Back to where he started.
Yeah, and I can see that as well, especially if they move off of Harden. Move him to a team where he wants to go to, like the Clippers. But
everybody's going to Clippers, huh?
That's what he said. I mean, you got to go off of what the man said. He want to go to the Clippers.
So, ironically, I'm wearing a Clippers hat, but I'm not a Clippers fan. To make that clear, I'm a Cavs fan. But with the Clippers, I don't think Drew Holiday makes sense at all because they don't really have any playmakers right now. I know you're a Russ fan, and I ain't trying to hate on your boy, but he's just not that right. He's not that for them. So I think that a better trade for the Clippers would be to try to go maybe make it a 5-team trade and get James Harden over to the Clippers because he's a little bit of better. He's a better playmaker than Drew is. Obviously, in the point guards that they have now, which is why they're looking for a point guard. But I'm gonna hold that down. yeah. Shots, nigga, speak up.
Nah, bro. Russ.
Y'all know how I get,
bro. Russ is still legit. Don't try to cap, man. Like, he's still a playmaker. He still make plays. Like, he's still a creator. And you saw that. Like, the stats show it too from when he went to the Clippers from how they were before. Like, he gets people easy buckets. It just happens because of the speed that he plays with.
Easy buckets in transition.
I get the turnovers and all that.
It's
decision
not about
making.
The turnovers for me. It's
but as a playmaker, that
half
matters.
court. When we get into the half court, that's really where the turnovers start to come. It's not about what he does in a fast court or in a fast break. Just because when playoffs come, them fast breaks, people are running back. So eventually, it's gonna come that time. And not to make this about Russ, but eventually there comes that time where you're like, all right, we need the bucket here. It's not some steal. It ain't catching off the rebound. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
But I think just overall, from how the Clippers have built their team and the people that they go after, I think they would go after Drew Holiday more than the James Harden because of the two-way. Of the two-way. I mean, yeah, we'll see, but it's interesting. I don't know what. I would like to see it. I don't think you can't go wrong with either, really.
I mean,
Clippers, but
it'd be interesting for sure. So with that being said, how do y'all think it changes, quote unquote, the landscape of the NBA? What are y'all thinking? Y'all thinking the Bucks are the definite favorites, or what are y'all thoughts there?
I mean, they definitely the favorites. I'm guessing on the East at least. I would still consider Denver should be the favorites in general, but you know how it goes when you make a big trade, it automatically springboards whoever got the person or whatnot. It automatically springboards them to number one. But I definitely would say they should be number one in the East.
I mean, they're the betting favorites right now. They shot up quickly. Quickly. And I think honestly, Denver should still be the favorites until proven otherwise. That's just my opinion. But I do like what they got. I think definitely in the East, they should be the favorites. I mean, they had a rough ending to last season, so we knew shit was gonna shake. They fired their coach, or let him go, or whatever, however you want to say it.
Fired him.
Yeah. And then there was a lot of talk about who are they going to bring back because Brook Lopez was a free agent. Chris Middleton, are you still rolling with these cats? Like, you going to the next season? So it was a lot of those questions still going, and then of course we had the comments from Giannis. Lately over the past couple of weeks, he's just been like, I like that I got a championship, but I want to win more. I want to be in the best situation to make me do that. Another fucked up part about it is we saw that I read about that clip from Drew Holiday yesterday.
Saying that he want to retire.
Said yes.
He
said, I don't want to play for any other team. I think we have a chance to continue to do great things here, and I want to be in Milwaukee. And then
So
next day, you go.
in my opinion, it's what we really saw is Giannis Andrew had a hint of the trade was probably going on. Giannis is like, look, y'all got to make this trade. So that's when he probably made the comments that he made. If you think about the timelines and how it happened, and then yesterday with Drew, he probably knew like it's getting close. So like I'm gonna go ahead and try to, because he knows.
I mean, training camp starting in a week, so you gotta like if it shifts. This is the time, so yeah, it's a very timely interview on his part.
And then also at that same point, like he knows like if I leave Milwaukee, where I land next is up in the air. So
Yeah.
like we've been talking about, he doesn't know if he's going to end up with a team like the Spurs. And one thing I did want to mention about the Spurs is, I mean, if Wemby ends up turning up to be what he supposedly could, who's to say that they aren't somebody that, not necessarily saying a championship contender, but at the end of the day, shit, we talking about a dude that's 7 whatever free.
Yeah.
If he starts snapping, he starts snapping. Like ain't too much nobody gonna be able to do.
I hear you. And I mean, look, I want Wemby to come in and snap. I want to see it. I can't wait to watch Spurs games this year. Honestly, I just want to see. It's gonna be very interesting. But I don't think we should speed him up because I see a lot. I don't think we should overshoot our expectations for him. Like I know it's the greatest prospect since Bron and all that stuff going on.
They say that about every prospect. They say that about Zion. They say about everybody that come out.
Zion's supposed to be that. Anyway, but yeah, I don't want to.
Hey yo.
No, I think Wemby has a chance to do great things, but I mean, Drew would definitely help. Don't get me wrong, he would definitely help. They would definitely help. I can see them in the playoffs just off pure coaching. Drew Holiday, that's a Pop guy. Like Pop would love to have Drew Holiday on his team for sure. So
right.
I would like to see it, but.
So to get back to kind of the playoffs and the favorites, I mean, you know, as a part of the trade with Trailblazers and the Bucks, we also didn't get into the Suns. Obviously, people are going to say they're going to be a contender with Bradley Beal coming over, along with Devin Booker and KD. And then picking up Grayson Allen, I think is a really good pickup. Honestly, he's a good 3-point shooter. I know people like to say he's dirty or whatever. They're saying he's the now the NBA Mac Jones. We'll get into that later. But I mean, bringing Nurkic in too. I mean, they say he's a defender. He's a good offensive player. He can rebound for sure.
On the floor defender. He's not a rim protector. It'll be interesting. He's a big body. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see him in the pick and roll with Bradley Beal, KD. But
yeah. I'll speak on the Suns. I'll speak on the Suns because Chris knows we have many conversations about DeAndre Ayton, and I don't think he's I don't think he's that good of a player. He's solid. His numbers are good. He's an 18-10 guy, sure, but I just don't think he impacts what he needs to on a nightly basis. And we kind of saw a little bit of that in the playoffs. I mean, he got put in situations that are very advantageous to him because of the weapons around him, which definitely helped. Like I don't know how much to expect from him going to Portland and having that fresh start. We'll see. I just don't think he's that good of a player. People are saying though that they downgraded getting Nurkic, and
definitely,
which I think is true because I don't think Nurkic to an extent Nurkic can do more though. I think Nurkic is more like skilled at basketball than DeAndre Ayton is personally in different ways.
I think it had something to do with coaching, honestly. After that 1 year in the playoffs when they got into it, I just feel like last year he checked out for real. I just feel like he checked out. Him. Yeah,
Monty was dogging him, and I mean that's not to make an excuse for him either because there was some. I mean, we seen some incidents with him quitting and stuff like that. I saw a report today that said some of his teammates were surprised, like when he didn't play in the last game of the playoffs. But with that being said, I don't know if I can agree with the Nurkic thing because I mean when that first year when Chris Paul came in, I mean, and DeAndre Ayton obviously started coming on strong towards the end of the year with the bubble. He was snapping, and I don't know what happened between him and Monty. I maybe it's his personality, maybe it's his maybe they feel like he can, because everybody be like you big, you 6 something, you 7 foot, you gotta be whatever, and maybe he want to be out shooting that bitch and shit, but
and that could possibly be true, but
I mean that's his game, but at the end of the day, we'll see how it go with Portland.
Overall, though, I think the Suns definitely got better. Though I don't think
they got deeper for sure.
They got a downgrade at the center position. You could say that, but they definitely they needed that depth. Going to get Nasir Little, Grayson Allen. They got a little squad now. I mean, for
shooters, it's still gonna be interesting with that point guard position. Like
I know, to say that. Yeah,
Booker's played it in stretches. Obviously, Bradley Beal's played it in stretches, but. Once again, back to the same thing that I mentioned about the Clippers. It's the same situation. They're not, they make plays for themselves more than they make plays for others consistently. And that's not to try to be a knock on them. Now, I wasn't even trying to say it was a knock on Russ either, but, that's just the style of players they are. So, it'll be interesting to see.
And we saw that in the playoffs too, Chris. Yeah,
zero defense.
Yeah,
they got to score because zero defense.
Yeah.
I think they're still, going to be one of the best teams in the West. I'm interested to see it for sure, but they got a lot. Deep. They got a lot of questions.
The league is deep right now. The league is real deep right now.
Exciting, and we talked about it like this trade got me right back hyping to the NBA season.
It's getting to that point in time.
It's been quiet, and then boom, we hear training camp starts today, tomorrow for a couple of teams that are going overseas. So I'm like, okay, it's picking up. And that trade comes, and it's like,
it's about that time. It's about that time.